Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, they come into this one after a loss in the opener, and they're in for another tough test here.
And what a battle for an organization to look at your schedule and see 2 road games to start the season and not have a letdown immediately. You got to fight against that. They've got to come out ready to play.
Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Well, first carry here for Robinson. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Get it. Come.
Back to throw. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at about the 14. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Kill.
It's Young off play action. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
14 yards and a Chicago first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
From the red zone now, Young. This pass complete to Higgins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll try the left side. Milton, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Here we go.
New York set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6.
Big stop, let's go.
They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. Touchdown, Giants! A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Onto the field now come the Bears. 1st and 10. Young. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A gain of 6 there on first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Meanwhile, the throw by Young was knocked away and incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Young to throw again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. And he's going to go down again.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and count.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to it. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped out, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. That throw by Young incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Young from the shotgun. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions.
Go,
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming after you.
They'll run it down with Robinson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Finds your man on a crossing route. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. A throw on the quick slant going to be complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 5. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
We want it. Come to my world.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this is caught at the end. Touchdown, Giants. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now.
Get ready. Get ready.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Young looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Schwartz. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They'll run on first down. Milton. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra, that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
On second down now, Milton. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. 14 yards into Chicago first down. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Schwartz. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. As they're now just an extra point away from getting back within 1 score. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And he got it on the touchdown run, but he won't get in here. He'll be stopped short, and they'll come up empty on the try for 2. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
The New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. 2nd and 2. And his throw here is incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. For whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Taking it about the 16. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Inside of a minute left in the half, does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do, or I guess don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Hey, watch the slant. Mike 52, Mike 52. Watch the slant.
Now a first down throw for Young. Over the middle, complete. That's Schwartz. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. First down, Bears. Young on first down. He'll find Metcalf. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
I'm here all day.
First down, Young. That's going to be caught. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns, as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that could alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. So an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors. But overall, I think they wanted to be positive with him. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On first down, Milton, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Young. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before this worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty... Young loses the football. It's stripped. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He let one slip away last week as well, so now 2 fumbles lost in as many weeks.
Well, we were out of practice, and we watched him work. And what did his quarterback coach talk about all week?
Being a 2-hand monster.
And we looked at each other. 2-hand. Oh, I get it. 2-hand monster. Both hands on the football. Taking care of it, putting it away so the ball doesn't get dropped.
23 yards, the final tally.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. And a dump off here to Robinson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. They'll try and run. This is Robinson. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Let's go.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive with a little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
They stop short. Down at the 1. Had the great move, but couldn't get it all the way home. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Second and goal from the 1. They'll keep it on the ground. Milton, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bears have retaken the lead. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Check the green. Kill. Back. What? Go.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it will stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Second and 9 now. Sets up the screen to Robinson. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up fourth down.
You got it.
And the Giants send out their punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the fourth quarter of play. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And that will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer on the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like through.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. DK Metcalf. His first touchdown here of the new campaign as the Bears push further out in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And that will ensure that it will take a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around to make the play on the football.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brendan, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Watch the screen.
2nd and 4. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They've become a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching off another 15 against your squad.
They go play action here on 1st down. Open man is Higgins. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on 2nd down. Young, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bears on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Throwing, Young. And he will find his man on the outside. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. O.J. Howard, his first touchdown of the new season as the Bears push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern in the middle of the end zone.
And ordinarily, that's a tough spot to find because there's usually coverage to take away that portion of the field. But they found a gap, and they exploited it.
Rosas now to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 15 now. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They run the draw here with Robinson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play in football.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And to the 46 he goes and no further, so he is well short of the first down marker. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
He's going to let it fly. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll run on first down. Milton, and able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And Young's going to throw it here. This one into the hands of Metcalf. There he goes, right side. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. DK Metcalf with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as the Bears push further out in front.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2. And that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. And New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Watch tight, tight ends right. Watch tight, tight ends right.
He'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Bears. And that should just about do it. They return it to the end zone, sealing it with a defensive touchdown. The offenses have success. You could say they've run wild a little bit. Time for the defenses to get into the act, and one does here.
Nothing like a little bit of revenge for the defense. They've had to deal with it all game long. Both offenses going up and down the field. How about it when they take the ball away and take it to the other end zone?
Rosas good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. 2nd and 10. And this will be incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Young here to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try
and he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.
It's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.